Hello and welcome to MariusCAD. In this series of video I will introduce you to our CAD software, so this tutorial series is for a complete beginner in AutoCAD who has absolutely no knowledge about it. We will learn about making the basic drawing in AutoCAD. When you start AutoCAD for the very first time, this is how your interface will look like. I'm currently using the Macbook version 2019, as you can see here. If you are a macOS user, this is definitely the video for you, but also if you are a Windows user, don't be discouraged because all the commands and features are pretty much the same. So let's get started. This is how your interface will look like, but it also depends on your version of AutoCAD. There are two versions. The complete version, which name is Autodesk AutoCAD, like the one I have here, and the lighter version Autodesk AutoCAD LT. All the features are similar in both versions, but some advanced features like 3D tools and sheets are not available in AutoCAD LT. Apart from that, everything is the same in the complete version and LT version, including the user interface like we have here. The most common version that you can select here is this one, named Plot Style, but also I highly recommend this one because the difference between ISO and without ISO is that with this one you can directly enter in the decimal measurement. So click on this, double click, and right here we will have the application button, and exactly near to it there is a file tab, and if you click on this you will have all the frequently used tools like new project, open project, save as, export, and so on. Right near to it you have quick access toolbar, again similar set of tools like the previous. For example, this is save and this is save as. In the file tab you can find it as well. In the other part we have tabs and ribbon area. These ones are for 2D drawings, but if you are interested in 3D drawings, you will click on modeling, and all these commands are for 3D. So let's get back. You have here plenty of tabs, plenty of panels too. So, for example, the panels draw, panels hatch, panels block, modify, and so on. All these panels, each of one, have a set of tools and commands. For example, the panel draw have the line. To activate the line command, you can just click on it and it will draw a line, or you can keep the pointer here, it will draw the line, okay? So you can just type line. Another easy way to do it is just type L and you will find here in the brackets line, but pay attention and be sure that your command it is in the brackets. So line again, and it's exactly the same feature. After that we have the drawing area where you can draw everything you need. After that we have the command bar. You can write here line, or you can write here L, it is the same, or you can write in every corner of the drawing area, for example here or here, it is absolutely the same thing. After that we have the status bar toggle, exactly here, where you can find some details, some commands for the precise drawing. And now pay attention, before every single drawing you need to start with the units section, because units must be there and must be correct. So for this we'll type units or just un, okay, and it will appear this window. And now there is here 5 options, but the most common ones are decimal and architectural. But what is the difference? The difference is that decimal is for precision. So here you have plenty of options, and you have here some examples how it looks like. For example, with this one with no decimals, you have 2, 2, 0, or for this one you have some huge numbers. Okay. And here you have international and American. You can select here yards, centimeters, millimeters, feet, and so on. But for architectural you have here inches, so you can select what type of inches do you need. But in most of the cases the most common one by far it is decimals, so I will let here in decimals and I will put it, let's say, here, and I will choose centimeters, and we are ready to go. I will press OK. And now we will start our first drawing. So as I showed you before, press line, and let's say I will make here a point. Every time and I underline it, every time please read what is right here. Okay, so select line, specify first point. It is here. Okay, this is the first point. Okay, specify next point. I will say here. The second point here, it will be the third one. Click. And the fourth one exactly in this point. You can see here a little green square. Click here and enter, because when you click enter, the drawing is done or it's finished. If you are not clicking enter, you can still continue to draw. For example, here, here, and you don't want it. And now delete it. If you don't press nothing and you just move the cursor, this will look like. But if you are holding the wheel, you will have this hand and you can just move the entire drawing area. Also, when you move the wheel, you can zoom in or zoom out. Let's draw another thing. For example, I will press here for circle. I will draw a circle. Okay. For example, if I will type line. Okay. And I don't want to use this line anymore. I can press just escape. Or I can press it for a couple of times. There is no problem in this. But if I want to select something, I can select the boundary, like here, here. I can do it like this, but also I have another version to do it. I will click at the point, for example here, left click, and I will start to move it. And as you can see, with this I can select everything I want, but there is a difference. This window, it's called selection window, and it can be blue, as you can see here, and green. Let me show you. This one is the green. What is the difference? The green selection window will select everything will touch. For example, this one, and what will not touch, it will not be selected. Of course, I can reapply it. So green again, and everything is selected. On the other hand, if I will use the blue selection window, which is from the left, as you notice, the only thing it will be selected are those parts which are entirely selected. For example, this line here. But these two lines are not selected. So I must select the entire one. Okay. And the green one, it is on the left. And the blue one, it is on the right. Also, we have a third type of window selection. The name is lasso selection. For this time, just press the left button of the mouse and start to draw like this, a shape like this. And now let's start our precise drawing. So I will go with the line command again, and I can just draw a line, but I want to be a line of 100 units. So I pressed here in the first point, and before specifying the second point, I will write 100. Okay, so in this case, I have here a line of 100 units, but it is not a straight line to be vertical or horizontal. So I will delete it and I will activate here the ortho command, or I can just type it. Okay, so now I can go with straight lines on horizontal part and vertical one. So it's perfect. And now before choosing the second point, I will type again 100, and I have 100 units line here. Okay, and I can continue. I can press again line and go up in every part I want. It is not a problem. But what I will do if I want to draw a line with another angle to be not 90 like in this case, or 180. First of all, I will deactivate this ortho command, and then I have 3 options to do it. First option, line again, go here from this point, always find this green rectangle, always. Okay, and now I will go here. Okay, but I want an angle, let's say, of 30 degrees, but to be straight, not like 31 or 29, no, 30. Okay, I will type here this angle sign, okay, and I will write 30. And now wherever I will go, this line, it will be on an angle of 30 degrees. So let's say I will type again 100. Enter. And I have here a line with 100 units and it is on an angle here of 30 degrees. Okay, this is the first one. Now I can also use a line, okay, from the exactly point, press the Alt key. I will type now the length, which is 100, and again this symbol, and I will type 30. So I have again a line of 100 units at the angle of 30. Another option could be to activate this polar tracking, and here press right click and select 30. Go with line, and you can see here I have a very big freedom. But on the other hand, when I will arrive here in this angle of 30, automatically it will appear a green line. So when I am on this green line, I know that my line has an angle of 30 degrees. So I'll type again 100, and here it is, again a line with 100 units at the angle of 30 degrees. Let's move on now. What is the difference between line and polyline? With line, as I showed to you, I have each line here. So if I want to select all of those, I must select each of that. But with polyline, if I will activate, I can go here, here, here. It's not a problem. But if I select one, I automatically select all of those. So this is the difference here. And now let's continue. First of all, I will activate the circle right here. Okay, and I can draw a circle. Okay, but if I want to be more precise, let's delete it. And let's go to draw here, and I will select circle. And I have plenty of options. So if I want to select circle diameter, I will press a point, it will be the center, and I will type, let's say 100. It is a circle with the diameter 100. But if I want to make another circle, I will type central radius, okay? And it will be here, and if I will type for this time 100, for this time the radius, it will be 100. Okay, so I will draw another circle. It doesn't matter so much the dimension. Let's say it's from here. And now go to draw section, circle, and you can put tangent, tangent, tangent. Select this, this, and this, and it automatically will build a circle in the interior. Okay, let's move on. And after that, we have the rectangle command. Don't forget, every time you can just click or you can just write down. For example, I will write rectangle, and I can create a rectangle. But if I want to be more precise, I will go now again with rectangle, but for this time I will put the Alt key. The first one, it will be for 100, and the other one, let's say it will be of 400. And here it is, we have a rectangle with 100. Always the first measurement, it will be horizontal, and the other one, it will be vertical. If I will go again, Alt key, 400 and 100, it will be 400 horizontal and 100 vertical. And now let's apply the arch command. So I will construct a set of lines, let's say 200 and 200. And I want to build an arch here. It is exactly like a quarter of a circle. So I will go with draw, arch, start, center, end. It will be the opposite sense of the clock. So start, center, and end. And here we have it. After that, let's say I want to highlight this surface, and I will go with hatch right here. Select the area, okay, and now I can choose. I want to be solid, gradient, so on. So I will choose solid. Let's say it will be white. Okay, so that's it. But if I want to modify it, I will double click on it, or I can just click on it, and I will select hatches to have many options. Let's say I will select earth. I will write here earth. Okay, double click, and now I must write here what is the density. So let me show you. If I will type 1, you can see it, okay. But if I will type, let's say 10, it is more visible. If I will type, I don't know, 20, it's even bigger, it's 2 times bigger. So you get the idea. Okay, right after that, we will go to the move command. This command is used, of course, for moving object. So let's say I will select this one. So let's say I want to move this object. I will go with the move command, select move, okay, and always, all the time, read what it is in the command bar. So move select object. First of all, select the object, okay. After I put the first click right here, select object, specify opposite corner. Okay, I select this area, it will automatically select. Always don't forget to enter. Okay, specify base point. Let's say it will be this one, and now I can move it. But if I don't want to have the point exactly here, let me give you an example. I have a line. Okay, and I want exactly to move this distance. I'll type move, or I can select here, select the draw, enter, and I will select this point, and I will go like this until this point, and it is exactly on the same distance as this line. After that, I have here the copy command. So select this thing, enter, go from this point to this point, and I can make also a bunch of other copies, it doesn't matter. Okay, now the next command, it is here rotate. Select rotate, select objects. Now let's say I want this object, press enter, specify base point. Okay, and now I can rotate it as how I want. Let's say I want to rotate here, specify rotation angle or copy reference. I will say I want to rotate it at 30 degrees. So I will type 30. And here it is. I rotate my object with 30 degrees. The next command, it's mirror. So press mirror. Let's say I want to mirror, let's say these 3 objects. Select those 3 objects, press enter, and specify first point of mirror line. I want this line here, but if I want to do this, I can change the angle of this line. So the mirror, it will be different. Okay, and after that, erase source object. If I want to erase or not the original, and I say no, I don't want to erase, I want to keep it. The next command, it will be trim. This is for deleting some extra parts. So let me show you. Trim. You can also write down trim, enter. Let's say I want to trim in this part. Select these circles, enter. And now we need to trim what we need. Okay, for example, let's say I want to trim this part. You will see a little X here. But sometimes I cannot trim because this is the entire distance surface. I cannot trim it. And if I really need to delete it, I will just go out, I will press escape, I will go here, I will select it, and I will just delete it. The next command, it is scale. So if I want to make an object bigger or smaller, for example, I just press scale and I want to scale this object. Select the object, press enter, go from this point, let's say, or I can go also for the other point, it doesn't matter. And let's say I want to make it 1.5 times bigger. So I press the first point, and now you can see here that I can scale it, but specify scale factor, and we can write here or we can write here, it doesn't matter, 1.5. So I want to make it bigger for 1.5 times, and as you can see, it is 1.5 times bigger. Or I can do it in the same time. Press again scale, select this object, enter, go for another point, and let's say I want to make it 2 times smaller. For this time, I cannot type 1.5. I will type 0.5, so to be exactly half from 1. And as you see, it's 2 times smaller. Another command, it is fillet. So let's say I want to make instead of a straight angle here, to have an arch. So press fillet. Now select files or type the command that you want. I want radius, for example. So I will type radius. I can just type R and so on. And now the angle. Let's say I want an angle of 40. Enter. Specify first object. I want this to be the first and this the second. So you can see here I have an arch of 40. So it is, instead of a straight angle, it is an arch. Another command that I want to show to you, it is array. So I will not click here for this time. I will just write it. Array. I will select this object, let's say, enter. Type of the array, I will say polar, to be in a circle. Now select the center. Let's say this one I want to be the center, and I can write here how many objects I want to be. So I have 6. I will say I want 10. Maybe I want 100, or I want just 4. And this thing will show that I have a circle of 360 degrees. Another type of array, select the object, let's say this rectangle, enter, rectangular. And here I have a combination. So I have 4 in this part and in this part 3. So let's say I want 10 here, so it'll be 10 at horizontal, and here I want, let's say, just 2. So this is exactly what I want. You can multiply this and you can select just one and it will be automatically all of them selected. If you want to select just one, I highly recommend to you to say explode. It is another command. Select all these things and press enter. And now you can see you have every single one here. But if you want to have, for example, just lines from here, let's say I don't want to select this and this, I want just to select 2 lines. I will say explode again, select all these features, enter, and now I have it just lines. You can see. Okay, let's move on. Another important command, it is offset, to make parallel lines. So select it, okay, specify the distance. I will say 20 for this line. And here I made a distance of 20 between those 2 lines. Another command which is also useful, let's say you have 2 lines right here. Okay, you have 1 line here and 1 line here, but I want to have just 1, not 2. I have here the join command, or I can just type it, join. Select the first line, select the other one, and now I'll press enter. And you can see that I have now just 1 line. And now let's delete everything. If you want to practice more the drawings, I will put a link in the description, but also a link right here. After that, every time I suggest you to have all these commands applied. So For this, press the settings, and you will go in object snap and pay attention all these commands to be applied. So endpoint, the midpoint of a line, for example, the center of a circle, a node, a quadrant, an intersection of two lines, a tangent we already used, the nearest parallel, and so on. Okay, so let's move on. Let's say we have a drawing and we need to measure it. So let's construct very quick a drawing. So 100, let's say I have here 200. Also make the ortho command active. Here I have 400. Again, 200 as well, another circle. Let's say 200, and so on. Oh, another line here. Nearest. Okay. So let's say we need to measure it. Press dimension from here up to here. You can saw that this scale is very little and you cannot see it properly. So what we will do, we will press this command dimension style or dim style, and this is the current dimension style. Okay, and we'll go here, modify, and the scale it's 1. Let's say we'll put the scale 10. Close, and the scale now it's more obvious. It is the same thing with angles and other parts, but by far my favorite measurement type is to write every single time Measuregeom, and we will be asked for distance, area, radius, angle, volume. Let's say distance from here up to here, and I have 400. And if I want to measure, for example, an area, measure area, and let's say I want just this part. For example. After that, let's say I want to measure an angle. What I will do, again dimension, but I will go through this and this, and I have an angle here of 90. It is the same with other angles. It doesn't matter. Let's say I just measure it and I want to be from another color. I must change the layer. So I will go right here and I will start to construct new layers. So here you have the button new layer. Okay, and let's say I'll name it red layer. And you have here plenty of options. Let's say I will go with 90 millimeters. And the line, I will go not continuous, I will go manage. I have here more, so I will go with load. And I will choose, for example, the zigzag line. Add, select, okay. And let's say I don't want to be white, I want to be red, for instance. Okay, now I will select from here to be the red layer, our current layer, and draw a line. Let's draw a line, and now I can deactivate first the ortho, and you can saw I use this. But if I want to change this, layer, I must just select them, okay, and go here and select red layer. And now all these measurements are made with red layer. This is just an easy example, it's not a problem. And now let's say you want to print something and you don't know how. Okay, let's draw something very quick. Doesn't matter the size, the dimension. Okay, let's say I have something here. I can go also to type plot, but I can also type it right here. So plot, okay. I would prefer to type plot, okay. And I have this new window in front of me. Okay, so page setup, it's all right. Printer, I can select a printer right here, or I can go with DVG to PDF, so to be exported as PDF. Now I can select the paper, how I want to be. So you have P5, A1, A0, but let's say I'll go with A4. The difference between A4 and this one, it is that one it's landscape and the other is portrait. So I will go with landscape, for example. I will choose window because I want to select it. Let's say I have a paper like here. Okay. Fit to paper, and this is how our shapes will look like. And then I'll go save as PDF. I'll go at desktop, for example, save, and it is already there. I'll go on my desktop and I will double click. I will have our PDF right here. I hope this tutorial helped you a lot. Don't forget to check the others playlist, maybe they will help you as well. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and thank you for watching.